Welcome to the Atheist Witch Podcast, a bi-weekly podcast for witches or any curious minds to learn more about a non-theistic approach to witchcraft. I'm sharing my journey as I find my way between actively practicing witchcraft and navigating a non-theistic viewpoint. Hello, and welcome to the next bonus episode of 2025, Litha. I'm creating bonus episodes ahead of all 8 Sabbats this year to talk about the history and traditions of each holiday and describe how I celebrate them as an atheist witch. I'm recording this bonus series this year because I think a lot of non-theistic practitioners want to observe and celebrate the turning of the wheel and might appreciate some ideas for how to do that without invoking a deity or other supernatural entities. Litha, also called Midsummer, occurs on the summer solstice. In 2025, in the Northern Hemisphere, the solstice falls on June 20th. As the solstice, this will be the longest day and shortest night of the year. Although it is summer in the Northern Hemisphere, this time also represents our approach to aphelion on July 3rd, which is the time when the Earth is farthest from the Sun. As always, I'll make a note here for our friends in the Southern Hemisphere as you prepare for the winter solstice, Yule. A blessed Yule to you as you celebrate the longest night. I'll discuss more about Yule in the final bonus episode of this year in December. The word Litha has Anglo-Saxon roots tied to the lunisolar calendar. We see our first historical reference to this name from the historian Bede, but like many pagan holidays, we can attribute the popularity and persistence of the name to the New Order of the Golden Dawn. Fun fact, the name Litha seems to have inspired Tolkien as well, as the fictional hobbits of the Shire celebrate their midsummer holiday as Litha. Like the other solar holidays, the summer solstice has been celebrated by countless cultures throughout the world and throughout time. Naturally, all of these cultures have their own traditions, but there are certainly some common themes. Bonfires are ubiquitous with midsummer, and some historical celebrants would keep the fire going all through the shortest night until dawn the following day. Some cultures also included water in their celebrations, like a ritual bath or a pilgrimage to sacred wells or springs. Litha isn't quite a harvest festival like those Sabbats that come later in the year. Much of the crops would still be growing in the fields at this point, so the themes of this celebration would center around prosperity, abundance, and success. As a summer holiday, common symbols associated with midsummer are birds, bees, butterflies, and livestock like bulls and horses. Colors include yellows, bright greens, red, and orange. Symbols associated with Litha include anything solar, like a solar disk or sun spiral, many plants, trees, and flowers, like sunflowers, of course, and oak trees. Where I live, Litha doesn't feel so much like midsummer as it does the beginning of summer. In this way, I usually use this Sabbat as a sort of summer kickoff. Those of you who are frequent listeners will be not at all surprised to know I plan to perform my solstice ritual this year around a bonfire. This year, I plan to focus my ritual around gratitude and prosperity. Similarly, my garden hasn't quite reached the bounty of high summer just yet. It's the midpoint between the season of sowing and the season of reaping, and to be honest, it's kind of a good time to be a little bit lazy. I look forward to kicking up my feet around the fire and enjoying the company of family and friends in this perfect weather. Celebratory foods for Litha showcase the fruits of the early summer. Think strawberries, honey, summer herbs, and red or orange vegetables. Anything fire roasted is pretty evocative of this holiday. So my Litha spread this year will probably include a summer salad with strawberries, skewers of meat with bell peppers, mushrooms, and onions that I can roast over a fire, some type of herbaceous herby bread or early potatoes, and maybe some kind of ice cream, maybe with strawberries. All of this will be washed down with mead, of course. My Litha altar decor features sunflowers and lots of solar imagery, including anything I can get my hands on that's yellow or orange. I also like to throw in a bumblebee or two to represent the sweetness of the season. I also really just like bees. Whether you're celebrating Litha, Midsummer, the solstice, or any of the other countless names for this holiday, I encourage you, as always, to make it your own. This is a beautiful time of year to go out foraging, engage in outdoor crafts, or just enjoy the bounty of sunlight. Perhaps a picnic would be a good way to enjoy the fruits of summer with friends and loved ones. Litha represents the peak of solar power in the wheel, so similarly, you can focus your intentions this time of year on the culmination of ideas or desires in your life. And of course, if you can do it safely, you could enjoy time around a fire or even just light a candle. This concludes today's bonus episode. I wish you all a lovely Litha this year. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. The best way to support this podcast is to please like, subscribe, or leave a review. Follow or message me on Insta at anatheistwitch, or email me your comments or questions at anatheistwitch@gmail.com.